Hello everyone, and I welcome you all to the online energy engineering class. During this session, I will take you to a new kind of energy that is come under non-conventional energy sources, wind energy and tidal power. It is added to the module number 4. In the earlier classes, we discussed about energy and energy importance and the present scenario of energy in the world and also the country. Energy is the primary and the most universal measures of all kinds of work by human being and also nature. Everything what happens in the world, it is an expression of law of energy by one of its forms. Most people, the world use the word energy for input to their bodies or the machines. So, and thus think about the crude fuels and the electrical power. So, the global energy crisis has attracted their attention of both developing and developed countries uh, to explore and find new means of energy resources to satisfy their ever increasing demand of energy. So the energy usage or the energy demand is increasing due to mainly the two reasons. One is the increasing population, that is one side. Again, the standards of living also going to increase day by day throughout the world. So it means the standard of living says that that is the comfortability. It is cut down the physical effort of human beings. So that means the new kind of machines which is going to replacing the conventional methods what we are using by physical effort. So these machine or devices require the electrical energy consumption to work properly. So, in this regard, with two important consideration, one is the population standards of living. Definitely, we can produce more amount of energy. So, it is not yet to possible both the in developed country and also developing country. So, we are not yet to produce 100% what we require. So for this, and also we are using the since several decades the own conventional method to till today. So there are two disadvantages by using the conventional energy sources, that is fossil fuels. Number one is again what you it is going to, if you use it in a large scale, the fossil going to exhaust very shortly. At the same time, by burning these fossil fuels, it is produce continuously unwanted gases, so that is very harmful to all living beings. So that have to avoid by another method, another kind of resources which is not going to produce such a harmful things to the surrounding, that we have to look after. So after that, this continuous burning definitely increase the surrounding temperature by means of global warming it leads. So these are the two important things. Keeping in mind, we want to switch over to the new means of energy, which is very clean and it is going to eco-friendly. That kind of resource we want to find out. So there are several alternative ideas, the alternative technologies available to produce the our demand. So among all these alternative energy, one best way and environment friendly is non-conventional energy sources. So that may be a solar energy, wind energy, tidal energy, geothermal energy, and a biomass. So definitely, uh, uh, it required a lot of technology to exploit energy as an energy. So again, you when you come to the stability of the country or the economical progress and also the technological progress, mainly decided by how the quantity of energy consumed by an individual. So we the economical condition in normally in economics, what we say, the the richness or the prosperity of the country is mainly decided by per capita income. Per capita income is nothing but per capita energy consumption. Okay, so even as we compare to German, the population strength is very less, as density is very less as compared to India or China. Even if they are producing the same quantity, definitely their per capita income is more. Okay, because of the population is less, it is indirectly help them indirectly that making to increase the per capita income. So, but when you came to the status, state of the country, German and other American countries and also Europe countries, they come forward. So it means when you came to German, the per capita income is more than 20,000. So it's the same, even by producing same quantity of energy either by China or India, the per capita income is very less. It is less than 1,000. So these are all because of production rate of energy and also the population. If you cannot, it is inevitable. Population is inevitable. But when you came to the product, it definitely will make it possible. So that's why the what energy we are producing by conventional method, it is not enough to satisfy our demand. That's why we want to go for new kinds of energy, that is non-conventional energy. So, as compared to conventional energy resources, the present non-conventional energy is not economical, but it is continuously modified and cut down the what we call the cost of what it was required in the earlier. So one fine day it will become more economical compared to our conventional fossil fuels. Definitely, it all requires the efforts of that improvement or modifying the present technology. So towards this modify refinement or betterment, the whole world is what you that is striving very hard by the help of scientists and engineers. Again, when you came to non-conventional energy source, the wind energy contributes the highest share in among the non-conventional sources in various countries. Even similarly, in India, when you take 16 data of energy production, the wind energy having the highest percentage of contribution as compared to the remaining non-conventional energy sources like solar energy and geothermal and the small idle power plant. Okay, definitely it shows that it reflects. Definitely, it is a kind of or it is a promising area to exploit energy from the nature. But again, as I said, it is not economical right now. But the serious effort by the scientists or engineers, definitely you can economically we can exploit energy from the nature, I mean the wind, into an electricity. So there are a lot of the wind farms will be going to extend it in the past 10 years. The energy production also very increasing steeply by the resource called wind. So there are some objectives in this there are few objectives having in this module. This course enable to our student to understand wind energy scenarios. So you know that wind is not available at a equal intensity everywhere. So it depends on many things. It is influenced, the wind intensity mainly influenced by the radiation from the sun, and also geometrical conditions, and also vegetation cover, and also one more important, that is the weather. That is also influence, the season also influence on the quantity of wind formation or the pattern. So there are several resources available. We want to find out, and again we start the energy production and utilize to, or we can convert into energy in the form of electricity. So in this respect, what are the minimum availability required, as in the form of speed or velocity of the wind, and also how geographical structure supposed to be, how other requirement going to influence to start energy production by wind energy, that we want to make it to understand our student. So and also we learn, we make them to learn how wind energy conversion methods are available in the present, and make them to analyze the effective one as per the pattern, as per the availability. The study the basic principles of wind energy conversion, what directly and indirectly influence on the intensity and also the pattern of wind, we can make them to understand. And also, you know that as early said, there are so many parameters is going to influence on the magnitude of wind or the pattern of wind, that we want to study and make them to understand. So along with that, we have another topic, that is tidal power. That is also contributes own energy towards energy production with a small intensity, but definitely it will become a maybe a promising area or a sector in future by effort of scientists and engineers. You know that tides, how they farm, and how make them to convert into useful work, I mean useful energy. What are the different possible way of extracting or harnessing these kind of tides into an energy, that will make them to understand. So, as we all know, there is a lot of limitations and also characteristics. Are there any kind of non-conventional resources you go? As of now, a lot of difficulties are there. The difficulty, if possible, to reform, or we want to come down, and also try to understand the characteristic of both tidal and also the wind energy. These are all the main objective of the module. I mean the course and module objective almost very similar. When you come to the module, definitely it is very particular. That is focus about wind energy and also the tidal energy. So we are expected some outcomes at the end of the module. That is, the students are able to understand the difference between renewable and non-renewable with respect to wind energy. How it is going, how the wind energy is so essential in the present scenario, how we can avoid the formal usage of conventional energy, how it leads to a problem that should be understood by our student by making refined if possible by present methods what we are in wind harvesting. So gain knowledge already in the objective. I said that some principles are there by conversion. That principle they have to understand and also execute with a refined manner to increase efficiency and also the performance of present wind conversion technology. So generally, what we thought or conventionally, generally we I mean commercially, when you came to commercial point of view, we are producing by using this non-conventional energy sources into an electricity. The very long back, the people who started to exploit energy in different forms. So, example, you came to solar energy. The people are very long start to use to dry their food crops. So these are the non-formal methods, but definitely we can use to different purposes. But when you came to, commercial side, ultimately we producing electricity by make use of all resources. Non-conventional resources which is available in nature very abundantly. So develop capability of basic design and wind energy. Complete refinement and advancement of technology, the efficiency and performance are day by day going to increase. So that it is made we by knowing the fundamental concept of this conversion, definitely make our student to improve and enhance the technology which leads to increase the efficiency and also the performance of the existing one. So these are the outcome we are expected from our student at the end of the module. When it came to the introduction, we all know that how wind comes, or how wind going to happen in a surrounding. That we all studied in the high school level itself. So when strictly come to the subject, definitely says that wind is nothing but the motion of air or the movement of the molecules of air in the atmosphere that leads to change in kinetic energy. So very long back the started informally wind usage. Very before this, there were people who were they started to exploit energy from wind for different purposes in a non-traditional method. They were used to wind. They identified the potential of wind to perform different tasks. At the beginning, they were using to grind the grains by a vertical mill, okay, by different technology. And also they used to know how to propel the ship or any kind of marine vehicle by the help of wind energy when it is came to produce. So the mainly when you come to the present scenario, we more and also when there is a one more thing, the people when you come to the evolution of wind energy or the history of energy, when you came very beginning, they started to grind grinds and also the propel the vehicle in the marine. After that, they also started to use to lift the water from the ground level. At the end, as of now, we came to exploit energy from wind into an electricity by the different devices. Wind turbines are the system which is used to harness the kinetic energy from the wind. As a result, we are producing some kind of work. That kind of work making to produce electricity or pumping water. So, when you came to wind turbine, it is an arrangement, okay, or a system. When you came in, when a wind blow came towards the blade, which is fitted in the rotor, that causes to rotate, which is coupled to a common shaft, including a generator. So that generator used to turn or spin by the help of the shaft which is connected to a rotor. By the way, we can exploit energy by kinetic energy from the wind to an electricity. So this is the kind of windmill we can see. It is made of a wood blade. Very early, today nowadays there are new kind of blades of lightweight is came to improving the efficiency of the turbine. So in the very olden days they were using wood is a common blade. So that is I think it is a kind of wind turbine which used to lift the water from the ground. As we all know, sun having an enormous amount of energy in the form of heat, it is continuously emitting in the form of electromagnetic radiation. It is around 4 into 10 to the power 20 joules of energy is continuously emitting towards the Earth's surface in every second. That radiated into a space. Among these quantity, only part of that going to exploit for the benefit of humankind. So the remaining part of most of the energy going to wasted by reflecting by absorption of media which is coming in between sun and also the troposphere. So and also some part of energy will be refracted. So these are all the reason only partial energy we can exploit by sun energy. So among this energy, only 2% of the sunlight that is falls on the Earth atmosphere to make them to transform or the produce the wind energy. So it shows that definitely the main source of wind formation is the solar energy. So apart from that, definitely some what you call the arbitrary movement of the planet Earth also influence on the production of wind. So when you came to the property of wind, winds are caused by an uneven heating of an atmosphere by the sun. So you know that the earth is continuously moving by their own axis and also it is going on the orbit. So in while rotating and also passing in the orbit, it regularly it is part of the geometrical area going to face toward the sun, and part of that will be away from that, and sometimes it is close to the sun, some portion will be away from the sun. So that all are making to heating unevenly the geographical structure. Apart from that, some irregularity also influence to making uneven heating of the surface. So wind flow pattern are modified mainly by terrain structure and also the bodies of water. When you same energy energy will be poured into that, the terrain, I mean the geographical condition also influence for these uneven heating, and also water bodies. You know that a specific heat of a solid body and a liquid body, it is going to vary. It depends on the molecular structure, that is a different topic. Uh, uh, we all know that how the specific heat influenced by the medium. So and also the vegetative cover also influence the pattern, also the intensity of the wind. When a wind flow is harvested by the motion of molecules by the help of a wind turbine, that at the end we will be used to convert into generate electricity. So we can see the wind, how winds are going to happen. Many of you don't know, or we don't know how the wind it is going. What are the sources which are going to make it possible? So as earlier we discussed, it is mainly due to uneven heating, and also the other parameter also influence on the potential of wind. But we cannot expect the constant wind throughout the day or throughout the year. That is going to change with respect to time and with respect to the season. So how do winds form? So as earlier said, due to mainly uneven heating of the Earth's surface, that heated surface unevenly by sun radiation, it is also caused by the scenario like cloud cover, mountain, valley, water bodies, vegetation, and desert lands. When you came to the desert land, the same radiations will be falling up to a certain extent. The way the desert is occupied, that will be get heated up very quickly as compared to the region having a water body. So it all says that the nature of the geometrical structure to influence on uneven heating. So, as a result of uneven heating, the surface which is moved to the hot surface get heated very fastly and drives its temperature. During this stage, the air particle which is embedded to the surface having a high temperature get heated up and lose its density. You know that in thermodynamics, any molecule it is get heated, it loses its density of same quantity. So at that time, when it's lose its density, definitely it creates some pressure difference between the area which having high density and also area which low density. This creates the difference in temperature and difference in density. It leads to cause the pressure difference. Once the pressure differential rises, definitely the molecules of air or simply say wind going to move from higher concentration to the lower concentration. Due to this, taking this benefit, we can make into turn or spin a kind of machine what you call windmill. So the movements of these air molecule we call as a convection. In thermodynamics, what we discuss. So I have air transfer. The bulk movement of this fluid over the hot surface that causes to transfer heat or it creates the pressure difference. Thus, movement or continuous replacement of polar particle of a hot particle that we call it as a convection. The energy moving during convection is called conventional current. So this current of air is going to happen mainly due to uneven heating that leads to change in temperature. Temperature difference. Again, it leads to a density difference. Again, ultimately due to the density difference, it creates pressure difference. So the kinetic energy is set up between the region of higher concentration and lower concentration of pressure. So schematic diagram of wind formation we can see. I think it definitely make you to understand very better the right way. Here there is two separate geographic conditions. That is the land surface. Again, it is a water body. It may be a sea or the ocean or a river. So when you came to this difference, you know that we can see this kind of things in a coastal belt. So the portion, the region in a land that going to eat it up very quickly compared to our water body surface. So again it leads when heated particles try to move upwards due to density difference. Again it creates the density difference create always the pressure difference. So due to this pressure difference, the wind formation occurs that spins something which is coming against the moment. So that the windmill is mainly movement of air molecule in the surrounding or the atmosphere. So, as earlier said, the wind pattern or the wind density going to vary with respect to the season, with respect to the time. So, when you came to summer season, So you know that wind will be formation occurs from water body to a land area. So again we came to winter. Again the direction will be changes. That is going to happen in the same way when you came to day and night. Day is as like our summer pattern. Again you go for this one at night time the wind formation will be like that. It is from a region of land to the region of water body. These are all common with different. It depends on the season and the time. So the scientists and engineers continuously put their effort and striving hard to exploit energy from resources like wind. So very long back, the people of other countries to start to exploit energy ultimately as in a form of electricity. But in India, it a little late it came. That was started. I mean, what we call pilot power plant by wind were started in 1986. In the first wind farm that has been set up in a three different places of India. That is Maharashtra. There is a place Ratnagiri. There is a Gujarat states. There is a place Oka and Tamil Nadu. There is a place Tuticorin. These three places we started to exploit energy into an electricity in a very small scale, that is around 55 kilowatt. Actually this a demonstration project is sponsored by Ministry of New and Renewable Energy Sources. The continuously striving hard towards exploiting energy from the nature by the effort mainly concerned to the central government that is set up a ministry. I mean there is a separate wing. It is look after to enhance and take care of non-conventional energy resources. When you came to 2016, it is we are to came to a very large quantity of energy production from wind side. It was 1990, 55 kilowatt only in 1986. After 30 years, very fast growth we can see. It is around 27,441 megawatt. It was in 80s at the beginning. I mean during the pilot project it was 55 kilowatt. All of it, I mean over a period of 30 years it is more exploitation from the wind we can see with a large quantity, that is 27,441 megawatt. It is major part of the wind farms are situated in southwest and north area. But we have a great potential of wind pattern. We are only exploiting 27,441 as of 2016, 441.15 megawatt as of 2016. As per the estimation data by an Indian Winds Atlas, that is again in 2010, it was 49,130 megawatt. So such a huge potential we having. So out of this 49, very half of that as of 2000 we are exploiting. In the recent study, the NIWE, that is National Institute of Wind Energy, has shown wind energy is having a great potential of resources and it is having a capacity to produce 302 gigawatt with an height of 100 meter hub. So in India, it is a kind of a promising sector to exploit energy, and also they are expected to increase as much as possible by effort of government and also the private sector. So, due to its abundant availability, the India's striving hard to exploit and also significantly increase the quantity of the production in the recent year. So, as of 2020 September, the total installed capacity is came to 38,124 gigawatt. So, in 2016, it was only 27, I think. So, again, we are increased more than 50% in the span of 4 years. So, as per our available data, we were the largest, I mean, fourth largest production from the producer from the wind energy, with having an installed capacity of 38,124, sorry, 38.124 gigawatt. But as per data, we can expect it to reach 302 gigawatts. Wind power capacity mainly spread across southern and western. These are the potential places, that is south, that is already said the Chennai, or sorry, I mean Tamil Nadu. So when you came to western side, there is a Gujarat and Maharashtra. They having the great potential places, I mean farms to exploit wind energy, because of it is an immediate contact between the water body and also the I mean land area. So MNRE having a target with a capacity of 60 gigawatt till 2030. In the next 22 years, we are expected to increase more than that is 25-30% what we are producing today. The wind power cost in India decreasing rapidly due to technical improvement and mass production. There are two things always say influence to increasing the efficiency and also to reducing the inputs. Okay, that is one is technology. So as improvement or the advancement technology, we can possible to increase to avoid the defects or the those things which will be influenced to cut down the efficiency. By the way, I mean technology always, the advanced technology always come down the input required to produce the same. At the same time, if you increase the bulk quantity of production, definitely it is increase the efficiency. So mass production means increase either by the hubbite or by the windmill numbers. This leads to increase the same place we are in. Example you take a windmill. The windmill with the same blade with a different height gives a different energy output. So example, if 50, what if you say it is giving at height of about 10 meter, if you rise by another 10, I mean 20, definitely it will be more than 50% of the energy exploitation going to increases. At the same time, it required a strong structure to withstand the high velocity wind. NIWE, National Institute of Wind Energy, has been established in Chennai in the year 1998. It is an autonomous R&D institution by the Ministry of New Renewable Energy Sources, that is MNRE, Government of India. So the main objective of this NIW establishment to guide the and make them to exploit the quality of energy, and also it is dedicated to offer services to those who are seek help in a different kind to produce wind energy, and also continuously is supporting in a very low spectrum to find this sector by carrying out research. So As of now, very few locations we are identified with a great potential availability. So it helps to identify or to increasing the present and giving an encouragement by a National Institute of Wind Energy. So as we said, most of the country are exploiting by onshore windmill. So onshore windmill is nothing but the windmill which is laying or producing on the land surface. So most of the countries they are producing energy from the wind only by onshore. But definitely it is also possible to exploit wind energy from in a offshore also. So nowadays they are more focused. I mean, along with the also we people are also concentrate to exploit energy from the offshore. So there is we are expected to produce a 5 gigawatts of energy from offshore by 2022 and 30 gigawatt by 2030. We will reach almost 30 gigawatt from onshore. NIWE was proposed the first ever competitive building process. You know that nowadays the government decided to give franchisee to the private sector to produce electricity in different non-conventional energy sources. So the first the first wind project was started very recently in a offshore with a 1 gigawatt in the Gulf Combat place in a Gujarat, Gulf of Combat in a Gujarat state. NIWE, National Institute of Wind Energy, they identify the 54 online offshore wind location beside the coast. So introductory studies NIV and Indian Institute of Center for Ocean Information Services INCOIS either was endorsed the potential sideway which is available in what earlier place what we identified at the beginning. The same places have a great potential to exploit energy from the wind, that is Tamil Nadu, Gujarat and Maharashtra coast. Tamil Nadu Renewable Energy Development TEDA has developed an integrated solar and wind energy is an example for grid system. Definitely, grid system having a great benefit. It is avoid the variation of production by different sources, balanced by when one is working, another is idle. So in all the conditions, it tries to supply a constant production by connecting a common grid by different resources. In that aspect, the Tamil Nadu have taken initiation to connecting both the solar and wind energy to a common grid. The fossil fuel of the India is continuously decreasing. You know that the fossil scarcity is created, and also it is very bad to environment, and also it is increase the global warming. To avoid this, we want to stop or we want to decrease the usage of the fossil fuel to avoid the future problems. So in that respect, we are decreasing the exploitation of coal from nature. So the different statistics we can see in a different years. So as we all know, it was started in 1986. At the time, it was only 55 kilowatt. 68, 1968, I think it was. Okay, the first wind farm was started. So when it came to 2000, it came to 1666 megawatt. So here wise it is going to increase their production, okay, or installed capacity. As of 2016, it came around 27,441 megawatt of power going to produce as of 2016 available data. So the Indian scenario, we are not only concentrated towards the wind energy exploitation. We are also interested to produce energy from different resources. Either it may be a biomass, solar energy, a small idle power, or geothermal. So the major contribution as compared to the remaining, the unconventional energy wind comes under unconventional energy resources. Wind energy having a great contribution with a 65 percentage of share. So when it came to solar energy, next nowadays we are also enhance the energy from solar energy. So it still the wind power only the number one as compared to solar energy. It is tend to approach the same share very shortly. Onshore wind. So as earlier discussed, there are two kinds of windmill we can see in general. Are a typical windmill. Onshore wind refers to turbine located on land. The turbine is running used to convert the kinetic energy from the wind to an electricity at the land. Okay, this we call it as onshore wind turbine. So we can see a typical onshore windmill. So how it is installed in a open area, that is in land. Power generation capacity is 49,130 megawatt. As per CWET, okay, we have a capacity to produce 49,130 megawatt. So at the I-250 meter up, we can exploiting 49,130 megawatt. If it is increases, the up height going to increases. So by to 30 meters standard up height, it is expected to exploit energy more than 1 lakh megawatts. So it shows that the windmill having 50 meters, okay, by enhancing 50 to 80, I mean increasing 30, definitely we can double. Okay, so in the mathematics we are discuss, I mean in while deriving the performance of windmill, we were derived. It is mainly depend the wind capacity, production capacity mainly depend on the hub height and also the type of blade, okay, and also the wind speed. So wind speed also going to increase with respect to the altitude of wind rotor. So this is the one more example for offshore. So offshore nothing but energy going to produce in the sea. Okay. So this we call it as a offshore. There are different location what we identify or what we are producing as of today. I mean recent years. So almost all the wind farms are situated very close to the coastal. So this we can see in the complete, that is the southern western parts will be more wind energy occupied farms. So the various density also available density also here tabulated. It is nothing but power density with square meter. So the data source in 2016, we were producing Tamil Nadu alone 7,684 megawatt. Again, Maharashtra also having a great contribution, that is 4,664.08. Again, Gujarat 4,227.31 megawatt. So all the states, those who are interested to exploiting energy from wind, they are increase the quantity of the production by expanding the avoid or expanding the wind farm. Rajasthan also having their own contribution, that is 4,123.35. Karnataka as of 2016 July 31st, it was 3,082.45. So apart from these five states, The Madhya Pradesh, Andhra, Telangana, Kerala also having own contribution toward the energy production by wind. The total wind capacity in the state as of 2016 was 28,082.95. So you can see in the bar diagram and also flow chart. So in bar chart A says that in Tamil Nadu having a great potential. I mean they are using more energy from wind to exploit energy into an electricity. So wind potential utilized by the state, we can see 2016 the operation cumulative power installed capacity was cumulatively increases at 200 meter above the ground level is total potential. So as early the wind speed going to or the wind the capacity going to increase with respect to height of the wind turbine. So there are different potential, potential in different state. We can see the Gujarat having a great potential of offshore. Okay, so that we can see in the graph. Above ground level, there are different countries are interested to extending the height of the rotor. I mean windmill that indirectly influence the production rate. So as of October 2019, the all states what we are discussing in the last slide, that is maybe Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra and Gujarat, that is again it is increases their production quantity in megawatt in terms of megawatt. So when it came to Maharashtra, it was 4,794.13 megawatt. Gujarat also increase that is 7,200.377. So similarly Rajasthan, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Kerala all are interested to produce energy from freely available wind. So these are the contribution from the various country we can see here. The total wind capacity as of 2016 is 37,090 megawatt. So let us stop the session. The remaining portion will continue in the next session. Take care. Bye and all the best.